friends are having a great time. It's not face to face, it's all online. We're all in our homes, miles away. Love them like my family, what can I say? My crafting show is on, it's my time for me. Laughter, tips and tricks, this is what I need. We're here to have fun, we're all in the zone. When crafting with friends, you're never alone. Don't call or text me, it's about to begin. I've been patient, time for me to chime in. Comfy clothes on, feeling just fine. I'm busy right now, it's crafting show time. My crafting show is on, it's my time for me. Laughter, tips and tricks, this is what I need. We're here to have fun, we're all in the zone. When crafting with friends, you're never alone. The host came on, they are truly a gem. Here for the show and to chat with my friends. Chat with each other about this and that. We share ideas, wisdom and other fun facts. My crafting show is on, it's my time for me. Laughter, tips and tricks, this is what I need. We're here to have fun, we're all in the zone. When crafting with friends, you're never alone. Time seems to escape and flies on by. I look at the time and then I realize the hour is up, it's over and it's time to go. Have to wait another week for my favorite show. My crafting show is on, it's my time for me.
Live from the Sunshine State in Miami, Florida, here is the Gifted Crafters Morning Show with Nancy.
Good time. Ooh, time to get our craft on. Ooh, time to have fun. Ooh, time to feel good.
Hey, Gifted Crafters, and welcome to the Gifted Crafters Morning Show. Sorry about the little tardiness there. We were having all kinds of technical difficulties this morning, but I think we got it squared away. Hopefully we'll be okay for the rest of the hour. Thank you all for tuning in. And I see we've got people from all over the place: Ohio, Maryland, North Central Texas. Here's my Canada friends. We've got Northeast Ohio. Oh boy, waiting for thunderstorms. And we've got Denise here for the first time. Welcome, Denise, and thank you for joining us today. All righty, I think everyone is starting to settle down. Oh, Cindy says, are we the gifted groupies? Yes, you are. You're the Gifted Crafters groupies. Thank you all for tuning in. I see Deborah, Denise, 1 Minute Tips, Jackie Hallman, Robin's Quote Basket, Cindy Fall. Hello, hello, hello. All righty. Okay, so I think that we are ready to go. The chat is kind of still in motion, but I'm sure it'll start to wind down any minute now and get you guys all settled in. So if you are, and we have some person that mentioned, I believe it was Denise, that you're tuning in for the first time. My name is Nancy, and I'm with GiftsHQ, and I host these daily sessions to just share tips, tricks, all kinds of ideas on crafting, anything from sewing, quilting, embroidery, decoupage, any kind of craft. We like to tackle it, and I like to just kind of share my tips on it, share some ideas. Maybe someone has a little craft show coming up, or if you got a little Etsy shop, I like to share all kinds of tips and ideas for you guys to kind of take those ideas and run with it. So I hope you guys really enjoy all the content that I put together for you guys. Okay. So if you haven't already, go ahead and grab your little cup of whatever, right? No judgment here. You drink whatever you drink in the morning to get you going. Get yourself in your nice little cozy spot. And so we can start off our day, because I believe that food truck is going to be heading our way any second, because I know that you guys get very, very hungry, especially on Mondays. So let me see. Do I see my little food truck coming down the line here? Because I think everyone is hungry today. There it is. Yes, we've got our little food truck, and guys, you can have anything you want on this truck. It is calorie free. We've got all kinds of stuff from coffee, tea, bagels, pastries, cookies, soda, and of course for the healthy people, we have the kale and the carrot so they can do their juicing. So yay, food truck. Yay, Robin. Yes, food truck. Definitely, we like to start off our day with our little snacks. And of course, if you don't have your little coffee or whatever it is that you like to drink in the morning, especially if you like your coffee, I can pour you a cup. So hopefully you guys are all settled in. Now let me just take a quick sip, because I'm drinking my water, but I'll pour you guys a little cup of coffee. Okay. All right, there's your cup of coffee, guys. I don't know if you want 1 lump or 2. Let me know what you'd like. I'll go ahead and pour it for you, and hope you guys are enjoying that. Okay, so we are ready to go. So it is Monday, and we have been doing about a month worth of the morning shows. So I thought maybe this is a good time to kind of put a little pause. Let's reflect what we have done and kind of do some recap on where we are on some of these projects. So we are going to be looking at a couple of things that we've been working on. I'll show you some updates on where we are with some of this stuff. But before we do that, let's go over to our crafting news segment, because I know you guys really love those. And I see we've got a few people from all over the place. So I'm going to kind of just start off and share with you just a couple of little tidbits of information that I have found. Okay, so let me just tell you, about someone in Illinois. Her name is Mary Bagala, if I'm saying her name right. And she's a lifelong quilter from Fort Worth, Illinois. And she turned her passion into purpose. She is now the VP of Project Linus. And for those of you who are not familiar with Project Linus, it's a national group that makes handmade quilts and blankets. They give them out to children facing tough times, whether they're sick, they're scared, or they're going through some type of a trauma. And the blankets have comforted kids from the NICU centers, schools, and even young cancer patients. So one little girl picked a brown and purple quilt because it reminded her of her favorite food, peanut butter and jellies. Isn't that kind of sweet? And Mary's heart doesn't just stop at hospital doors. She works at the correctional facility as well to help with incarcerated moms. And they send handmade blankets to their kids. They hoped for 50 blanket requests, and they ended up with over 700. Isn't that amazing? So since Project Linus began, they've donated over 10 million blankets. And right there in central Illinois, Mary and her team have made over 120,000 of them. Can you imagine how many people they have touched the lives with those quilts? I mean, that's just amazing. I mean, that really brings joy, and that just kind of reflects people that make a difference on that. So if you want information on that, you can always go to their website, www.projectlinus.org. Okay, so now we're going to be moving over to Pueblo, Colorado. And Pueblo, Colorado has a community college that just launched the hands-on industrial sewing class. And they bring skills right back to the spotlight, and that just always makes a difference. So the class runs for 8 weeks, and it teaches students how to make patterns, sew clothing, do alternations, and even learn the basics of manufacturing. So this is all thanks to a local grant that brought 14 industrial sewing machines and brought in a real pro. They have someone by the name of Ladoris Burton, who's got 45 years of experience and a heart of passion. Now, this person, Ladoris, is on a mission, and she's going to bring sewing back to the U.S. and help grow a new generation of skilled crafters. She's training up students to meet the rising demand, and local sewing companies are actively looking for talent, but struggling to find people with the right skills. So that's really a plus. So she's also welcoming some apprentices into her own shop, and she hopes to expand the training into local high schools. Her goal is to make sure that the art of sewing isn't lost. Isn't that amazing? I think that's pretty cool to have, just the ability to really reach out to so many different people and practically change their lives, because you're really teaching them a really nice skill. Okay, so that's what I have in terms of the crafting news. So now we're just going to kind of dive into some of the projects that we've been working on. And if you did not catch us on Saturday, we do our Saturday Crafternoon, where we do a small little project. And we were able to do something a little different in preparation for 4th of July. We made these little napkin holders that have little elastic here on the end, and I'll kind of grab a piece of fabric just so you could see what it would look like if it had a napkin on there. So let me just roll one up here, and let's just pretend this was my napkin. And I can show you what it looks like. And I thought it was a really cute idea if you're having a little picnic or some little barbecue or something, to kind of show with family. You can really just kind of whip these up in no time, and it'll really, really just be a really nice table setting just to kind of set your table. So I thought it was really cute. We made these little pinwheels. They're made out of fabric, and this is a no-sew project. So it was a lot of fun. We also made some pinwheels just to add some decor as well. So that was pretty cool to be able to do that. And, it was just a lot of fun. we had a good time putting these together. So I thought, you know, what better way to kind of celebrate 4th of July, make cute little decorations for your home and for your little barbecue that you're going to have. Doesn't take any time at all. It was super, super easy. Don't even need a sewing machine on this. It was a lot of fun. And, you know, that's what we were able to kind of put together on Saturday. So I thought that was really cute. And we shared that with everyone. So let's put this over to the side now. And we want to kind of do some updates on what we've been doing lately. So first I'm going to start off with the quilt that I kind of started with. This is a panel, and let me just kind of pull these over to the side because I don't want them blowing away when I opened up the quilt. So set this over to the side as well. So this is a panel that, if you guys recall, I quilted the panel, and then after I quilted it, I decided I didn't like that I quilted over the stars on the border, and so I started to remove some of that quilting, and I then added the borders. So these were the borders that I selected and I showed you guys before. So I have added the borders, and the backing as well has the border. And then I sandwiched the batting in between. So, you know, this is kind of like if you make a mistake on your panel or on your quilting, there are ways to fix it, right? So this is where I kind of came in, and let me see if you guys can see this piece here. I've already removed all of the stitching here. And you can see I'm kind of all the way down here on the bottom. And then I skipped around a little bit. I did a little bit off of the corner here and down towards the bottom. So you can see all the stitching kind of has been removed here. But, there we go. But I'm continuing to move along here. And let me just move this way. There we go. I think that's a little better. And so you guys can see the stitching is coming off quite well. I've already attached the border, and I'm just going to continue to go along and just remove the stitching here on the side borders here. But it is coming out quite nicely. And then once I'm done removing from this blue border here, then I can go ahead and do the binding. Now, we talked about the scallop edging. It's like I could do the scallop edging on this as well. So I haven't gotten to that part yet. But the borders are now in, and the quilting that was done on the blue border is about, I'd say about maybe 30% removed. So this one is quite tedious. It takes a lot of time just to kind of remove this. They do have a product that's called the Peggy Stitcher, I believe it is. And it's supposed to help you remove stitches. But I'm just going to go ahead and continue using my seam ripper just to take them out. And again, I'm just taking this. I will be doing a reinforcement stitch all around the white border, just to reinforce any stitches that I may have popped open in between here, and make sure that they stay securely in place. That way nothing comes off. So I will do just a little top stitch all the way around on the little white border here, just to reinforce that. I'll use some white thread so you won't even see it. So that is update number 1 on our little quilt here. So this will be, I anticipate on being ready for the 4th of July on this one. So I think I'll be ready by then, and it should be good to go. So project 1 is getting there. Not there yet, but getting there. Let's see. Oh, people are asking. Yes, Faker McFake. So she's doing fine. Her and my mom have been going around getting things done. And I believe today she is making her way towards the Orlando area. And she'll be traveling with my mom to see her brother. So they are moving right along. She's been pretty busy going around with my mom, and I'm kind of just trying to catch up on everything that I had in my home. So we've been busy. We've been moving around, but she's having a great time with my mom, and they're really, just kind of doing all kinds of stuff together. So, okay. Cindy's saying the trick on the pinwheels was the heat and bond. Yes. Can't remember if it was regular or light. I did light. I did heat and bond light. That's fine. You don't need anything too heavy. And what Cindy's asking is on the pinwheels, the way it got put together, the two fabrics, I used heat and bond light. Here's one of them that I have here, where I just have the heat and bond here on one side, and then I'll take a different fabric and I'll put it on top and then hit it with the iron. So now I'll have fabric on two different fabrics on both sides. And that's what we kind of use for the pinwheel. And then you're able, let me see if I have one here. Yes, I do. So this one's already sealed with the heat and bond. And so I have this fabric on one side and this on the other. And so then, you start to kind of form your pinwheel, do some cutting involved. So you'll need a pair of scissors, and then you just kind of start looping the fabric in to make the pinwheel. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun on Saturday doing those. I think those were pretty cool. Okay, so let's go over to project number 2 here. And this one is also in the works. I've been able to get a lot done. And let me see here. I believe I've got my little project bag. I can show you where we started. So this is kind of where I store some of my projects here that are kind of in the works. So I've got multiple things on here. And I like this bag because it's really, you can fit a lot in here. So this is called the Star Climber. And this is what the quilt will look like once I am done. I'll give you guys a little bit of a close-up here. Okay. And this is a quilt that just uses 2 blocks. And so on here, I've got one layer cake. It's called Peace and Plenty by Riley Blake. This is a Lori Holt in my bonnet design. And I use 1 pack of this layer cake as well as a background fabric. And I've been able to do some of the blocks here, and I have them right here. Let's see. I've got about 8 or so stars made. And let me just kind of move this over so I can lay them out and you guys can see them. There we go. So I've got about 8 of these made up so far. And these I've done them, but I think I've done more of the courthouse steps blocks. Just because, I don't know, I found the courthouse steps to be a little bit easier to do. You know what? I'm going to alternate them. Let's see if I can stick this over here. And then here is the courthouse steps. And so when you lay them out, they're actually going to start, they will start looking like this. Let's see if you guys can see that a little better. I think it's going to be 5 across, if I remember right. I believe that's what it is. Let's see. And so here are some of them. They're a little scrappy because you are using, you're using that layer cake. So you've got some scraps in here, but I believe we alternate these. The courthouse steps are going to be alternating. So when you're piecing together, you've got to kind of alternate it this way. Let me see if I can move this over to the other side. Okay, I think I have a little bit more space now. So it'll be coming down this way. Of course, I think it's going to be 5 going across, and then it will be going this way. And then you just kind of alternate back and forth. So when you go to piece these together, I would really line it up first. And you want to make sure, you've got it scrappy, but if you've got one that just doesn't look right, you may want to change it around. And so, you got to kind of just play with it, I guess. Let's see. And this I can say could go this way, And so you just play around with it. And this is kind of what it will look like. So I would probably, once I have all of my blocks completed, I'll lay them out and make sure that I'm happy with the positioning of it. If not, I'll switch them around and then I'll start kind of putting them together. So yeah, they do look pretty. I really like this layer cake. It's called, again, Peace and Plenty, and they really have some really pretty designs on here. I think it's really nice. And it works out really well. And the nice part about this is, you're not using an entire layer cake, like you are piecing it out. And so even though it's scrappy, it's all part of the same design. So it really blends well together, and it's kind of very pleasing to the eye. I think it looks really, really great. So I have made about, I want to say 8 of the stars and about 21 of the courthouse blocks. Because I still have some more here on my hand. So I'm about halfway there in terms of the courthouse steps block, but I do have a ways to go for the star, because I've only have 8 of them made. So quite a lot still to go, but we're getting there. This is kind of a one-person thing here, so it is a little tough to kind of be able to move right along. I know some of those other crafting channels and stuff that you've seen, they get this stuff done really, really quick because they have like a whole team of people doing it. It's just me, so I have to kind of keep up as best as I can. And yeah, I've got this whole stack here, which I'm pretty happy about. And then I've got the stars. So I'm moving right along, and I'm really liking the way it is turning out. Got a couple more here off to the side that are also completed. And these are all, I believe, courthouse steps. So scrappy, but really, really nice. They come out really, really good. And you don't necessarily have to use this layer cake, right? You can use your own scrap fabric. But this one does call for, just in the courthouse step block, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different fabrics. Plus you have your background fabric as well. So you do have quite a lot to kind of pick out if you're doing this from your own stash, but not that it can't be done. It just takes a little bit longer. And then on the star, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? 2, 4, 6, 8. No, there's 8. 8 different fabrics on here for the star as well. So a lot of these will be coordinating, but it'll be going back and forth, but they are using the same fabric layer cake. So it's all kind of coming together. I do have piles of stuff here because this is where the layer cake is, and I kind of cut as I go. I do have a couple of strips, and I'm down to kind of just this. So I do have to cut up some more. I just don't like to cut it all up at the same time. I like to kind of do it piecemeal, and then I kind of just put it in my little project bag and, as I move on to different things, I can kind of go back and forth. So my little project bag here will hold on to that. And so I can go ahead and put everything back. And I'll show you the next project that we have here. So let's see. Are the fabrics in my blocks starched? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I did starch all of my fabrics. I have a little hanger that I have, and unfortunately it's all the way over there. I can't really reach for it because I'm kind of connected with my headset, but there is a little hanger that I purchased. I got it off of Temu, and it's really nice because I'm able to kind of starch my fabric, and then they have these little clips and I hang them. And so I hang them overnight and let them just, dry. And then the next morning I was able to kind of get my fabrics and then just start doing some cutting. So yeah, I am definitely team starch when it comes to my quilt. So I like to kind of organize it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a couple of these blocks away, because I like to kind of keep them here so that they stay nice and clean. And then I just normally don't put it like this, but I'll just leave it like this for now so we can move on to the next thing, because if I sit here and put everything away, you guys will be here all day. Okay, so a couple of other ones that we have. Once Upon a Time, have not started that one. This is one that's kind of in the background, requires a whole lot of fabric. It is a free pattern that you can get, and you can download it. I think it's really pretty though. I love the colors, and I think that's going to be a pretty one. Not sure how I'm going to be able to get to this one just yet. This one may be kind of like in the back burner, so don't think I'm going to get to that one just yet. I do have one that's a Designs by Juju. This is for the embroidery folks out there. It's called Holly Jolly Christmas Quilt. This is one I want to tackle as part of Christmas in July. So this is one that I'm definitely going to get. I had you at free. Yes. Yeah, this will be a fun project, and this can be done with a 5x7 hoop. So for those of you who have just a flatbread embroidery machine, I use my SE 1900. I don't have a 10 needle, so I use the SE 1900 with a 5x7 hoop, and I'm going to be able to make this quilt so you can make it with me. So that'll be a lot of fun. We're going to be tackling this one pretty soon. I'm just kind of getting ready to get all my fabrics together. Download from where? Scrapping Like a Lady. This is by Designs by Juju. So if you go to her website, she's got this pattern in there. Just type in Holly Jolly Christmas Quilt on the search bar and it'll come up. And you can get all of the information here. You have a 5x7 hoop, a 6x10, 7x12, and 8x12 are the different hoop sizes that are available for this particular design. And she's got all the instructions on there. And then we'll be kind of doing these, and I'll be showing you my progress as we go on that as well. So that'll be a lot of fun if you guys are interested in that, for those of you that are into embroidery. Is that Christmas one for free? No, the Designs by Juju one was not a freebie one. That was one that you had to pay for. Off the bat, I do not remember what the amount was. The other one was the Once Upon a Time. This was a free pattern, yes. See if I can remember on this one. Bedtime Stories. Yeah. If I believe, and I'll have to double check this because I don't remember off the top of my head, but I know artgalleryfabrics.com. If you go to their website, type in Once Upon a Time, it should come up. If it doesn't, let me know, and I'll have to go back to see if I have it saved as bookmarked as one of my one of my links on there. But try them, and it's artgalleryfabrics.com. Check them out and just type in Once Upon a Time. It should come up. Yes, this definitely was a freebie on this one. Okay. Okay. Then some of the other ones I have stored in here. This is the birthday quilt. That one we've kind of done. And will I be doing the Juju using snapplique? The designs by Juju is an embroidery design. It's not applique. This one is embroidery. So it's all kind of like everything in the embroidery machine. But I do have a couple of projects, and they're smaller projects that I've been looking at, because I think a lot of folks get a little bit confused on the snapplique process, and I thought doing really smaller projects using the snapplique process, that's something that kind of Becky has. She's got that down pat, but I'm doing really small projects just within that process to kind of familiarize myself with it and break it down into really smaller chunks so that people can really understand how that process works. So it's something that, I'll be doing, but in a very small scale. I'm not going to do a huge quilt. I'm going to do a really small little, like a wall hanging type of thing using that process that will really kind of move it along. And I think it'll help that way. You kind of understand how to do certain things within embroiderings before you tackle, those huge ones. And then people kind of get a little bit lost. So something in that around those lines, just at a very smaller scale for that one. So stay tuned on that one. Let's see. Did I get any other questions? I think, oh, Faker McPhee, I'm not a quilter, but Nancy got me hooked on her channel. Thanks, Faker McPhee. Okay, I have some other paper piecing ones in here, but that's just something that I have to decide. I'm not going to tackle those because I do want to tackle my legit kits quilt after I finish this one here with the courthouse steps and the star. So once I'm done with that one, I'm going to jump over to the legit kits and kind of get that one done. So that's what I have in my little project bag. But one thing that I'm tackling, and I think it's just something I've been looking at for a long time, and I'm doing this. If you guys are familiar with Crafty Gemini, she does a lot of sewing things. And so one of the things she's tackling that's a little bit new is quilted sneakers. And I thought that was so cute. So I'm giving it a try. I'm going ahead and I'm taking that class. And I'm excited because that's something that's really a lot of fun. One of the things I like to tackle is having quilted sneakers and having a quilted jacket. So I'm going to tackle the sneakers first, and I'm taking the class. If you guys haven't signed up for her class, she does an amazing job in her teaching skills. I really love her style. And so that class has started and on the way. So I've got my little kit that comes, and sometimes you can buy the kit in pieces. These are the soles that they have. And she is following in the little kit that you get. She, besides giving you the pattern to cut out, comes with a little guide called Happy Feet. And this is just kind of a little guide to making quilted sneakers. So I thought that's really cool. I've kind of read through this, and I'm really excited about this because it's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And she just happened to kind of announced that she was going to be doing this. So I went ahead and signed up right away because I knew that I've been looking at this for over a year at least and wanting to do it. And I just haven't had the time. And so when she's offered the class, I jumped right in. Where did you get your project bag? The project bag here, Kathy, I believe is what you're talking about. This was Temu. This was Temu, actually. Got this from Temu. 20 bucks, not even. I think it was like 14 bucks actually, something like that. Yeah. Got a couple of them actually. I really like them because, you know, they've got a lot of pockets and I can store things, and love how, you know, it's a nice material on the side. So yeah, I really love this, and it kind of, you know, I'm able to put a lot. You can see how thick this thing is. I can fit a lot in here, and I like that I can store all kinds of things because it's got so many pockets in here, and you can really, you know, just open it up all the way, and really just, you know, gives you a lot of options. So yeah, one of my favorites, and I can kind of store a lot because I like to do multiple things. Like I'll start one project and then I kind of, you would love to make that. Yeah, Evelyn, definitely. This is not a very difficult project to make. You can see here how it's binded together. I don't know if you guys could see the stitching on this. Probably not. It's kind of difficult to see because it is white thread. But yeah. Yeah, Leslie B, you're taking the Crafty Gemini Quilters. Yeah, awesome. Yay. Yeah, she's an amazing teacher if you guys have not checked her out. I really love her classes. She does an amazing job. And so I will be making my quilted sneakers, and that's a lot of fun. Information on the shoe kit. Yeah. So if you're taking her class, she offers a little kit that you can get, and all of this will come included. And then you have to purchase the class itself too. But the kit, like once you have the kit, you only buy the kit one time. And if you want to do multiple shoes, you would have to buy like the soles and the little inserts here, right? The little shoelaces, if you're going to use these shoelaces, things like that. These, I've seen these, just the soles, selling in Amazon, so you could go there. But it's, you know, there's all kinds of different places. Happy Feet is just one company that makes it. They're off of the UK, so you know, you've got all different ones. I'll try to find a couple more. And I'll see if I can list them for you tomorrow. I don't have my notes or anything with me offhand, so I don't remember. But there was like 2 or 3 that I saw. And then from the actual supplies, I saw them in like Amazon. I saw a couple people selling them Etsy. So there's different places that you can get it. But once you've learned how to do one, you know, you've got the process down, and you can make multiples, and then all you have to do is just get the soles. And, you know, what a great gift that would be to kind of give someone their own quilted sneakers, right? All right. So Evelyn, thanks for bringing that up, because Evelyn is also, you know, she's on Instagram and she's super talented, and she has a lot of things that she sells. She makes beautiful stuff there too. So you guys want to check her out as well. All right. So yeah, so this is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get going on this. I think the class is really kind of, it's the first set of courses did go out, and then today I think is the second set of courses where we're actually going to start kind of cutting and getting into, you know, choosing your fabrics and quilting and things like that. So it's going to be great. Okay, let me grab another sip because my throat. Okay. Are the soles bendable? Yes. Yeah, because I mean, you're going to be using this, right? These are not just quilted sneakers for show. You're actually going to be using these. So yeah, definitely. They are it's made out of rubber, right? So it is bendable because it'll be on your feet and you'll be moving them around. So even though they look like solid, they are bendable. It does bend, as you can see here. So yeah, they look quite comfy. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to kind of do this. And you know, the fun thing about this is, you know, you can do the quilting, but you can also embroider things on the side as well. So if you want to do like your little logo or, you know, if you want to fussy cut a specific piece of fabric to come out either on the top or on the sides here, really fun to do something like that. So, oh gosh. So yeah, definitely, you know, this is something that you'd want to do. And I just think it's so much fun to be able to make your own sneakers. I mean, that's pretty cool, huh? All right, so that's the sneaker project. So I have that kind of going on the side here. So then the other projects that I kind of have on the side here as well that I have not tackled, but I'm going to start starching out the fabrics because I want to start getting towards this. This is one that I would like to have finished before Halloween. So this is the mystery spooky and sweet quilt along that they've done. I think it was last year. And this one, you can download this one for free. It was at the Fat Quarter Shop. And this is one pattern that you can get for free. It has all the instructions. You can use your own fabrics or you can buy the quilt kit. I did buy the kit, and I can tell you that the kit, and let me see, hold on, I have it down here. I left it on this pile. The kit itself really is not very expensive at all, and you do get a lot of fabric on here. So you've got your grays, your oranges, and things like that. And let me see if I have a picture of the finished product. You can see here, they've got a door banner that you can make on here. And I believe this is the wall hanging. So these are like the different options that you have. So I'm going to be making the wall hanging. And let me put this closer. So I think it's really, really cute. And I think it was under $50 on this one. So you can really get a lot of fabric plus a free pattern for like under $50. So really, really nice. There you got me again. Free, yes. Some of this stuff, you know, there's tons of patterns that are out there that are free, guys. You just have to look for them. There are a lot of people that offer free patterns. And then using your own stash, you know, you can kind of use those free patterns to go ahead and do that quilt. But if you're someone who has a really hard time matching fabrics and figuring out what fabric you're going to use, they also offer the quilt kits that you can get. Sometimes people want their quilt to come out exactly the way you see it on the as a picture on the paper. So in that case, yes, you do buy the quilt kit. I don't mind getting the quilt kit as long as it's reasonably priced. And in this case, it is. Not sure if it's because this did come out last year, but I'm totally fine with that. So this is the quilt kit. It comes with all of these different colors here. And you can download, of course, the instructions on the quilt kit. So you can see that here. So these give you the close-up on the colors. Okay. A little bit of a glare there. There we go. So it pretty much tells you everything. And these are Bella Solids, by the way. It does, you know, so this is all by Moda. So it's got good fabric on here. And, you know, we've got a great little project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start starching some of these and just hang them up to dry. That way they're ready to go and I can begin cutting. And so I'll do that and then hopefully get this one on the way. Not sure in terms of how long this is going to take. It doesn't look too bad. Just as I kind of flip through the instructions, a lot of these are just the I want to say a couple of different processes. So you've got your basic design when you're putting together, just right sides together and sewing it. Some of them is using the process where you have to cut a piece of the fabric and kind of blend that in to keep the same base shape. So it's like cut and flip method. So you've got a couple different methods, which is kind of nice to have because you can kind of practice that process. But other than that, you've got your pretty basic stuff in here, and the instructions are nice and clear, and they've got some pretty pictures that you can follow along. So it's really nicely laid out. So I like the way the instructions are kind of lays things out really nicely for you. Now they do kind of suggest for you to use the alphabeties. For those of you who are not familiar with alphabeties, there are these little tiny squares here on the bottom that's labeled either ABCs, or they have smaller ABCs, and all of that stuff is just to kind of help keep you organized. So you can use that, or you can make your own however you'd like to do. You can take a piece of painter's tape and label it on top. However you need to do, your items, just to kind of keep you organized. Quick question. What do you do with the project once they are completed? It kind of depends. Sometimes I give them to my mom. Sometimes I give them to a friend. I'll donate. It depends on what the project is, and just kind of matching that project with someone that I know would like it and appreciate it. So I'll just gift them out. Just because, I don't know, I like to gift them out to people. So a couple of the ones I have kept, not too many because I'll just kind of load up my house with quilts. So, but most of the ones I do gift them out. But some of them I keep, some of them I give to my mom, her neighbors, on and on. So yeah. And then we have two more that I have not tackled. This one was a kit that I've gotten here, and this was a Stardust quilt. This was a charity quilt. It's charity quilt along. It's called the Stardust. And I had gone ahead and gotten the quilt kit for this one as well. Have not started this one. Kind of putting it on the back burner because I do want to get the Halloween one out. And I do have one for Thanksgiving that I want to get out as well. So since we're already in June, I'm kind of like getting a little pressed for time. So I'm going to see if I can kind of move this along. If I can, I will get to it. If not, this will kind of be held off into the back burner. But it's also from the Fat Quarter Shop. It's called Stardust. It is a charity quilt along that was benefiting Make-A-Wish. And so that's what it will look like, which I think it's really cute. I don't think this one's going to take too long. So I may try to, hammer it out. I'm just not sure. But it's got all the fabrics on here. And this one is a quilt that was featuring Summertime by Camille Ralinski. Rakilski. I'm not sure if I said her name right. But I have everything here all kind of put together, and I'm going to see if I can get to that. So we will see on this one. Can't make any promises on this one because I've got a couple of the other ones that, because they are kind of seasoned type of items, I'm going to try to make sure I get them done before that season begins. And then I'll kind of come back to this one. So got one more for you, and then I will be done. This is now one that I've gotten on here. It's called the Autumn Skies. This is a table runner. It came in this really beautiful box, which I thought was gorgeous. This is what the table runner looks like. And so on this one is another one that I want to get done before the Thanksgiving holiday. The fabric is by Riley Blake. It's called Autumn. And it comes with the little charm pack, as well as all of the fabrics with it. And I think it's going to be a really pretty little table runner that I could have for the fall season. So I think this will look really nice. So I do want to tackle this one right after the Halloween one, just to make sure that I get it done before that season begins. So yeah, that is where we are at in terms of the projects, and I did want to give you guys an update. I've got a couple more in the works. We've got the farm animal quilt one. That's an embroidery one I've been working on. That one is about 80% done. So I'm hoping I can finish that one up really quickly, and then I'll be able to show you the finished quilt on that. So that is all I have in terms of projects that are in the wings there, waiting for me to tackle. So now let's kind of head on over to our quote of the day segment, because I know we want to get that quote in before our time ends. So let's head over to that. Alrighty, so for today's quote of the day, we have: precision takes time, but the result is always worth it. And I think that kind of sums up what we've been talking about here. There's a lot of things that we have that takes precision, and yes, it's going to be tedious, may take some time, but it's worth it in the end. And I think I get really happy just gifting things away, and I think that for the people that really appreciate it, I think they'll really enjoy it, and I like to see the smile on their faces when they receive their gifts. So it just makes me happy, and it's just something that I like to do. Whether you gift your quilts out or maybe you sell them, that can make you happy too, just knowing that you're able to do that business. So it's a lot of fun. Krista says, do you list all the items you show in the show? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I pretty much do. At least I try to. And that's why I kind of wanted to recap a little bit, because we've gone now about a month doing the morning shows. So I kind of want to just recap some of the stuff that we've had. I also have little small projects that I do, like on the Saturday crafternoons. We do tackle a couple small projects, and sometimes we do it on the morning shows as well. But I'll put all of the links in the descriptions below, so you guys can see where we're at. And I try to kind of keep you guys updated on where we're at. So got a lot of stitching done this weekend, and there's tons of stuff that I'm kind of catching up on. So that's about it. That's all I have for you guys. I know that for those of you that watch Power Tools with Thread, Becky is back today from her cruise, and we're all excited to see her back again and hear all about her wonderful adventure. So I'm excited with that. So for those of you that watch her channel, let's head on over to Becky's channel and show a little support for her. Alrighty, well, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate you all being here today and spending the hour with me, and I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye, everyone.
So long for now, so long. Glad you stayed a while. Hope you liked my crafting style. Hope I left you with a smile. By now, keep your mind and space clutter free. Hope your day is bright.